So I had a lot of downloads recently, and I think it's because I've been connecting with like angels, or just like what I would imagine angels to be, or guidance. And so, starting with downloads in my life about a person, I realized that I never really got to experience my own healing presence, my own aura, and how sometimes my delicateness is not about being a flower, but it's like a hand grenade. It's like it's so delicate, if you pull it wrong, it could explode. And recognizing my kind of fearfulness or avoidance that I used to have, and someone else's fearfulness and avoidance, might look very different, but they come from a wound. So shame, fear, avoidance, anxiety, and the wholeness means that, let's say I didn't realize all along, maybe because if I'm dealing with wounded people, and I'm not saying I wouldn't marry or date a wounded person, but in my wholeness, the idea that maybe I didn't realize I was in the upper hand, or that somebody never gave up on me. Maybe it wasn't me, maybe because they needed something. Basically being in power. What does it mean? So power also includes responsibility and not making excuses. And sometimes the wholeness comes in only later, like when a person has a wounded identity. Let's say they protect their woundedness. The wounds have protection. Wounds naturally have protection because they're able to be infected. So we're talking about psychological wounds, emotional wounds, right? Not just physical wounds. So it's very natural when a wound is like closed off. So when a person's coming from woundedness, this is a way to understand people so much better. And somebody actually showed me this earlier when they said they were like attacking someone's false self. And I heard the word attack, and I'm not saying that they're the only one who does it. Just thinking for myself, when I'm thinking I'm helping someone because they have a false self and I'm showing them where it is, recognizing that attacking is going to make the wound protection come out stronger. The false self is there because of the wound. So in this not making excuses, I felt like the soil is actually getting aerated and tilled. I looked this up because I'm interested in gardening and how things grow. So feeling ready, choosing, calling someone is coming only from a place of responsibility and wholeness. Choice comes not because I need you, but because I want to. And this whole idea I mentioned in a previous video of turning a taker into a giver is the idea that a cancerous cell is something that only takes, right? And taking in the extreme. And a cancerous cell, actually in the body, the immune system sees it as a threat because it's a tax. So it's so taxing that it will send out these special cells called either T4, it will send out these they're either called cytotoxic cells or killer cells. So basically they induce a cell to do something called apoptosis, which is self-destruction, or to be possessed. They tag it, like very casually, like, hey, and it's like, you ever see these videos where someone puts a paper in someone's back, kick me, God forbid. So it's like, they don't know it's there, but everyone like, or I'm an idiot or something stupid on their back. So that's what the cell does to the other. They tag it, and then it could be possessed. So how do you become immune to this? Is you be of service. So being of service is from a place of wholeness, and consumerism is from a place of needing. And sometimes the wound comes from looking for a surrogate parent. And for men, it could be looking for a surrogate mother. For a woman, it could be looking for a surrogate father. And sometimes we prayed so long because of missing something that we finally got it. We forgot to be grateful and appreciative because the thing itself didn't give us that missing piece. It returned our own piece of ourselves to us. And and that's actually a way to not make someone dependent. To not make someone dependent. And it is a type of love that a lot of us have never experienced. And then there was this woman, Gray Gable, who does readings. So she did a reading for me about somebody. And I don't know if it's appropriate to be doing this, but I was in a place of a lot of uncertainty and I wanted answers. So according to the Torah, you're not allowed to do divination, but I'm not clear on whether tarot is divination. So first of all, I let it be. Maybe it's a reflection of me. My inner masculine is the only kind of thing that could be outside of me. So the inner masculine I have is going to be interacting with the inner masculine, with the outer masculine. So we call this the masculine. Shayna's masculine would be a man outside, or whoever would be masculine outside of me that I could be around. That there's a match. So first of all, jam-packed cranium, not just thinking about me, but all the thoughts mentally. This person looked to me for mercy, sees me as like the option, and worries about being imbalanced because of feeling inadequate and trying to fill the void. So now you can see that this is a theme in my life. It makes sense why this is the reading. The thing of a void is the wound, right? Because maybe I have everything that this person wishes that he was, and he tries to bypass his feelings, and he might want to reject bodily constriction, resist temptation, and fight feelings behind the coldness and nonchalance. Could be the hurricane, a tumultuous eruption, and maybe I erupt and have tumult and hurricanes, and it might be that it's very liberating for this person to be exposed as they try to actively balance but end up feeling tied up. And the sad thing is the familiarities don't feel familiar anymore, the comforts don't work anymore. So that person might be pretending that they're not eyeing me, trying to figure out what I would do in that situation and like the moves I'm making, and the person might not know if they're good or bad, or if coming toward me is the right thing or the integrous thing. And on this level, because I mentioned it's like a reading, so there's something to do here with like energy, and the fact that it's my masculine outside of me, it would mean something like telepathy, emotional signals, to somehow have me holding on, because the masculine doesn't want to be the needy one. Like, doesn't want to be the one that needs. So, a person who's rapidly thinking of me, let's say, but compartmentalizing it, is not doing enough introspection to stop over-intellectualizing. And I'm going to stop here, and this is the video for... Actually, I want to do one more set of these, like, downloads. And so basically, I was thinking about judgment as choice. So to be faithful and loyal is committed to my future self. So someone taught me some Torah today about how when you judge others, that's how your subconscious inner divinity is watching to learn how to judge you. You're teaching, like, as if you're teaching your subconscious how to judge. So when you want to be harsh with people, you're kind of being harsh with your future self. So after I heard that, I thought about it as like, like kind of like a selfish reason to be more giving benefit of the doubt. And the other kind of judgment where you have free choice is you might try to cheat or get away with it, right? Let's say you're going to be getting a test, so you might want to cheat on the test. Or let's say you're in a relationship and you cheat on somebody. You're abandoning your future self, because you now will be in the other side of it. Like, let's say someone else could cheat on your test, which means that aren't you, when you get that job, not going to be able to know what to do because you didn't actually study the material, for example. And then this cerebral nature, there's a natural ebb and flow. At the same time, you can't do someone's work for them, because the cerebral is like this connection, this network. And then there's a portal. You can be sucked forward because you fill everybody else's cup. So you jump levels. You become somebody who's so gracious that you no longer have to be like the one who's getting your cup filled. You become the cup filler. On the other hand, if you leave everybody else's cup empty, you go backwards, because now you're in a world of empty cups, including you. So now people have to fill your cup, right? So you go backwards. And then think of what it means to be divine feminine. So from a place beyond the wound of wholeness, it would mean amplifying, growing, and multiplying whatever energy comes toward me, whether it's maybe something I won't want to mention, or blessings, prosperity. So So that's the prize. There's no prize that's better than multiplication. There's no reward that's like the test, like a man, let's say, getting tested, is the woman is the prize, the reward, because it's fruitfulness. So when a man is stupid enough to say, what does a woman bring to the table? You say you bring the energy to the table. Then there's resonance. My resonance. So I was thinking, what's my resonance? It's intelligence, genuinely enjoying, feeling full, bliss, loyalty, community, partnership, happiness, magic, newness, strength and lightness, commitment, devotion, hotness, building something powerful, abundance, riches. I was thinking, what does it mean to be self-centered? So now, coming from a place of wholeness, it's not bowing to a person, it's choosing myself, it's discernment, it's saying no to what's being offered that doesn't match my vision, it's having energy boundaries, it's my own magnetic energy, and it's getting the ick when that doesn't sit right with me, or you need to go put yourself in a timeout, or that's not correct behavior, you need to go figure that out, or and then also like feeling ready for someone who actually sees me and knows my worth the first time and treats me as they see me. It's a pure, rich heart, and seeing that I have a pure, rich heart, giving to the world, being a guide, a teacher, committed to something beyond myself, and taking my role very seriously. And I'll stop here. This video is for Thursday. Okay, bye.